Good morning, everyone. I'm here to speak to you about how you can graduate. So, first off, my name is Mr. Arleth, and I can be found in room 306. I'm the person who picks your schedules every year and what classes you take and all that other fun stuff. Part of my job is making sure that you can do everything you can to graduate from high school. So, one of the new things that just came about in the past year or so is what we're calling pathways to graduation. The state has passed a law called Act 158, which requires every student to use one of the five pathways that they established to graduate from high school. So I'm going to be going over those five pathways now so that you can see what it is you need to do to make sure that you're on track for graduation. So first up, this first started and was passed in 2018. And since then, this is our first senior class that has to follow through with it. The seniors last year did not have to pick a pathway or any of this stuff. So this is pretty much new to everybody in the school. So this is on top of everything else you need to do to graduate. So if we're looking at everything else that you need to do, remember, maybe you're not even aware of this, but you need 23 and a half credits to graduate. Each course is usually worth a credit. Those credits have to be in certain areas. So we're talking about 4 English classes, 4 social studies classes, and we just have a list that goes on from there. So in addition to all of this, one of the new criteria is that the 3 courses that are tied to Keystone exams must also be passed. So now it's not just any English classes, but you have to pass English 2 or English 2 honors, and you have to pass either biology or biology honors, and you have to pass Algebra 1 or Algebra 1 honors. So all 3 of those courses must be passed and on your transcript for graduation now. So pathway 1 is the simplest of the 5 pathways, and that is simply that you passed all of your keystones, algebra, biology, and literature. If you pass these 3 keystones, you can graduate under pathway 1, and it's nice and simple. That being said, passing all 3 of your keystones isn't as easy as saying it is. So the pathway 2 gives you a little bit of a wiggle room here. This is if you can get a composite score on all 3 exams of 4,452. Each exam, when you pass, the passing score is 1,500. So you can see that you don't have to pass all 3 to get pathway 2. However, one of them must be passing, and you cannot have any that are below basic. So having a composite score where you add up all 3 exam totals, if it's greater than 4,452, you pass at least one, and none of them are below basic, then you can use pathway 2 to graduate. Pathway 3 only applies to CTE students. So those of you who are in business and medical, these are you and only you. You can graduate using this pathway if you are demonstrating a high likelihood of success in your program. What does that mean? Well, it means that you have to at least have passed either Business Admin 1 or MA 1. So that's your junior year course. So you have to at least pass that. And you have to have passed the pre-NOCTI that you take that year. So those are right now what they're telling us this means. Whether they're correct or not, we're checking up on that. Like I said, this is new to everybody, but it's going to come down to making sure you pass at least the first CTE course, which is MA1 or Business 1, and passing your pre-NOCTI that year. Pathway 4 is pretty much open to everybody. This is all about taking alternative assessments other than the Keystone. So One thing that everybody in school has an opportunity to take is their PSATs, the PSATs, and the SATs. And you can see on this slide the scores you would need for Pathway 4 to count. You also see that AP exams are also possibilities, but considering most students take AP courses their senior year and those results don't come back until after graduation, we really don't want to rely on the AP scores. Another test that's available is the ASVAB. This is a test that typically students take if they want to go into the military. But just taking it doesn't mean you have to go into the military. So we're working to try to see if anybody who needs this pathway can take the ASVAB in the fall each year. Another way of getting Pathway 4 is some kind of admission into a 4-year nonprofit institution, college or university. But this does not include schools like CCP where they're not full 4-year institutions. So getting accepted into a college can also count for Pathway 4, but only if you also include the ability to enroll into the college level coursework. So this is where our dual enrollment students can use Pathway 4. So if you get accepted into Arcadia's courses that we have here at school, or if you get accepted into LaSalle's program, that can be used for Pathway 4 as admission into the 4-year institution and also taking that college level coursework. The last one I do not believe we have at FLC, so we don't have to worry about that. Pathway 5 is literally a choose your own adventure type situation, and each of these bullets, as long as you complete 3 of them, you can use Pathway 5. So some of the easier ones, or actually necessary ones here, is you can see midway through completion of a service learning project. That's our senior project, which you need to do anyway to graduate. So as long as you complete your senior project, you already have one of these 3 completed. Other things here is getting into college again, a letter stating that you have full-time employment after college or after high school. If you have some kind of industry certification, once again, if you're in CTE, this is something you can attain your senior year. If you pass just one of your Keystone exams, that's the very first bullet. So there are various things here that you can look to obtain. All you need are 3 of them. Now, there are some additional exceptions that are going around, specifically right now for our seniors. If you were completely virtual during the course that leads to one of your Keystones, then there is an exemption for that. So right now our seniors, many of them are getting that exemption, and that's automatic. So if you're not sure where you're standing right now as a senior, you can speak with your counselors or myself, and we can let you know if you are good to go, or if you need to worry about maybe Pathway 5 or 4 or something other than just passing your Keystones. Juniors, some of you may also be eligible for those exemptions. Once again, that's something that we would have to decide on a one-on-one basis, though. So if you have any questions, you can find me in 306. Hopefully it's not that complicated. This is our infographic that we got from the district. Hopefully my slideshow is a little bit better than their attempt at a flow chart here. So yeah, if you have any questions, just stop by and we can discuss it. If you're freshman or sophomore, I wouldn't be overly concerned about this right now. Instead, I would suggest focusing on passing the Keystones this year, because once your Keystones are passed, you don't have to worry about this at all. Hope everyone has a nice day. I'll see everyone later. Bye.